The microphone is with the president, so listen. The question was, Honorable Minister, that so the training here will be for engineers, not others. So those engineers who qualified from Makerere and those other universities will come and learn more from here.
But with the aim of turning them into manufacturing engineers.
Correct, but what I wanted to find out, are you different from the Kira group? Or this is a little bit connected, but a different...
Okay, so Kira Motors manufactures cars. They have to source parts to make the car. So here, actually that's our first client, to make some of the parts that they are currently importing. That is the purpose of this center.
Now you're talking.
If I understood you, Honorable Minister, on the 8th of March last year, when the President of the Republic was here, and I was present, of course, as the area member of Parliament.
Can you start afresh?
I said on the 8th of March last year, when the President laid the foundation stone, and the Honorable Minister was giving the keynote speech, she said, and I want to quote her in her presence, that the finest profession is legal profession. But as what the Law Development Center is to the lawyers, this shall be to the engineering profession. Yeah. So to give that icing on the cake to every other engineer, otherwise why do you study engineering if you are not going to produce something?
You don't even make it.
So this is going to be
before they release them out from Makerere University, they should come here.
In fact, Madam Minister, I think this now answers my question that has been lingering on my mind for a long time. And I wanted even to write an article about it. We have very many universities in this country, producing engineers year in, year out. I was going to be very radical to say that why don't we gather all these engineers, lock them somewhere. No, please, get me right. Lock them somewhere and task them that we shall only release you after you have come out with solutions for the development of this country. Now, if you are, according to what I've heard just a few minutes ago, you are on the right track. Please, you only have to assure us that we have got a timeline, that by this time we shall have achieved this, by this time we shall have achieved this, and you are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and the Engineer Chinji, for the work you are doing. When we are talking about spare parts or parts of any other machine, they can be in their thousands, I believe. And therefore, I would presume that each of these components we are seeing here would be producing one specific part. So don't you think that we would need hundreds of these kind of machines for each of the parts that would be produced, or there are specific parts that you are aiming to work on?
Let me give a partial answer, then the engineer will refine. Now, these machines don't manufacture specific parts. They do particular roles. Let's say I want to make this machine, this one here. I want to manufacture it. The way you manufacture this machine is first you design it on the computer, each part the way it will be. And then you manufacture it piece by piece. I will come and I've designed this piece, then I have to manufacture. Now to make this part, it will go through one that is the experienced engineer. If you're using these ones for some things, for example, this was rough metal, then it had to go through a number of these machines to make it like this, to make it smooth. Then there are those that will shape it like this. Then there are those that will put the hole inside. So they are not necessarily for making a single piece. It is the engineer who designs Now, when we go down there, you will see that they are intelligent machines, where you actually, from the computer, you design, then the machine works. Because you've told it, I want this piece like this, and these holes. Otherwise, if you use this line, you'll make this, you'll move to another machine, you'll make these gaps, these holes here, you move to another machine until you have this piece done. Then you have to manufacture this piece, then you have to manufacture this piece, then all the pieces, then put them together to make this machine. So this equipment help us to make those different parts as directed by the engineer, and also the designs and the computerization, which we are going to see down there.
Madam, I'm the one.
Maybe just to add on, the minister has explained quite well. So as Honorable asked, if you're going to have to manufacture one component, let me say 1,000 parts of one component, here the precision depends on the human being. But as the minister said, in the next center where we're going to, we have computerized numerical machines where you can churn out as many parts as possible and with consistency. The same precision, 1,000 parts.
Yeah, Madam.
But also, this is a beginning. Once we get this right here, never know, you'll grant us permission to have more centers like this, where we have more equipment.
Yeah.
The promise is for us to have regional centers. This is the pilot. Because there has not been anything like this in Uganda. We are using this to refine. How do we make it? What machines do we need to refine? And then we have regional centers. We'll come to you, to your committee, requesting, can we have one in the north? Can we have one in the east? Can we have, yes, yeah, because it will be a matter of replicating.
Madam, I have two questions. One is, we've got our local artisans. For instance, when you visit the Katwe area in Kampala, there are many innovators who might not necessarily have gone through engineering courses, but they are busy manufacturing some parts. I do not know that informal sector, how you will relate with it. But also, I visited Yuri some time back, and from my observation, they seem to have got a wealth of experience in the automation and all that you have explained. I do not know how you link with Yuri, because Yuri has been also providing internship, it's mainly for the technical institutions and getting products who can be in the petroleum sector and so forth. And now they are even now making drones. So I wanted to know how you work with Yuri in reinforcing this, or you are just separate completely?
Yuri is an institution under STI, and science, technology, and innovation. So Yuri is one of our. Oh, he wanted. No, we took that name. Science, technology, and innovation. So Yuri is one of our centers. It plays a role in the value chain. But because Yuri covers so many areas, it is our center in the central, but it is at a lower scale than this, because this is a whole manufacturing center. The machines here are industrial capacity. Yes, so here, to answer your first question, the Juokali, they are making things there. But at the same time, yes, but they are not at an industrial scale. When you're not doing it at industrial scale, one, you find that it is not refined. So the main market does not take them. it does not take them. So whereas you make an exhaust pipe in there, it is rough and it costs cheaply, and most of the people where we have the money, they buy imported parts. So here this center will play two roles. One, to support the artisans in refining their products, and they are able to manufacture them now at a scale which they can compete. They may not be themselves able to design, but they'll find engineers here who will help them to design. And then so the artisans will have their pieces now, because if you ask them, each one of them, to have this kind of facility, it is not possible. So they just come, they design, they are supported to design, because for them, they just imagine and do. They are innovators. But an innovator must take their thing into a factory, which has precision. And one of the things that we emphasized here is precision. If they are innovators, we have even designed some programs. They are innovators who've been skilling at Chira Motors mainly, because these are, you used to see a young boy who used to make tractors and what from jerrycan material. The first thing I did when I became a minister is I looked for him, and we put him in an internship at Chira Motors. Now he can design his things on a computer, and they can be moved to manufacturing. Yes, they can come and be manufactured here. So whatever he imagines now, he has a chance of manufacturing them.
Thank you. You have answered my question.
No, he stopped in P4. He stopped in P4. He didn't have any knowledge of computer. We had to teach him to read properly. And we didn't take him through all the hard science, chemistry, what. We just taught him. So now he can make the gears, he can make, because one vehicle has over 30,000 different parts. And the engineering here now will help us to make those parts. We'll start with a few, we have actually planned out which ones we are going to start with, and we can make them here.
One question, Honorable Minister. I'm an ardent watcher of the Russian-Ukrainian war. And the Americans and Germans have supplied very sophisticated tanks there, which is much superior. But they are being captured by the Russian forces. And what they are talking now is that they have taken those tanks, they are being torn, taken away, and they are doing reverse engineering at home to build the same level of tanks so that they have a better battle. Now, you have brought us these equipments from China. Now that all of you are very knowledgeable, can you at a particular point do reverse engineering and be able to create this from home so that you avoid importation?
Honorable, we can only say that when we are in Parliament.
That's a brilliant one.
We cannot say it here. For example, honorable members, you can see what...
Honorable members, just a minute. Just a minute, honorable members.
Have a practical example of what our engineers are now doing. Explain what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I'm Komsine Janet, and I'm a machinist. I'm a machinist. Yeah, we have a shaper which is lacking a foundation board. So I was asked by Engineer Gaba to make one, whereby I started by turning a plane shaft.
What is the piece which you are making? What does it look like?
It is a bolt.
A bolt, eh?
Yeah.
You first show us what you're making. Can you make it for anchoring?
For tying the machine down so that it doesn't shake. It
was a plain shaft. I started by turning from the machine you are from. Then I made the threads. We already had the nut, which is now entering. Now I'm trying to make the hexagonal head of the bolt. Yes, please.
Learn some of the words.
There is a machine called a shaper. The other side, it is lacking a foundation bolt.
A foundation bolt is anchors this machine down so that the machine is stable.
Yeah.
Yes, you would be importing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but you need
These ones.
What safety measure?
Recycle them.
Where are you? I saw operating machine with
I have my clear goggles. When we're operating this machine, we don't use gloves because they can get entangled into the tool.
But the plan is to recycle them.
Yeah,
we actually have a project specifically designed. They are being recycled into purifying water coming out of industries before they release it in the environment to remove all the poisons. Yeah, there will be so many products.
We can proceed to the next one.
So these machines here do different jobs. On that bolt, she'll remove from that machine, go to another one, until she has what she needs to do.
Yeah, that's what
we will be mentioning about what we call the value chain approach. What we have done is to look at where do we need to be in this industry? Where do we want to go? But then realistically, look, where should we start? So at any point, we make a decision, make some, buy some. And as we begin that, we master that. So the next thing that will be coming together with the Minister of Energy is investment in iron ore. Investment in iron ore. Because engineering moves with the steel. There are lots of many metals and what, but steel is key. Yes, so, but it wouldn't be profitable for us to invest in it when we don't know what to use it for. Yeah, because just purifying the iron ore, we also have to make the specialized steels. So we will be coming, and when we present many projects, don't think that we are wasting it because things are rising from here. Engineer Java.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Good evening, honourable members. My name is Moses Agaba. Now, I want to begin with the issue that is either at hand, why we don't buy Uganda. The most important issue is the quality of what we produce in Uganda. And when you enter here, the first thing you see is the material. So what we are going to be doing here is the first thing with the material. The material is the right material. Because if we don't do processes and systems right, then we shall keep importing. Even when we make, people will not buy. So we start here with material test because whatever we're going to see uses material. So the first thing we do is materials understanding. Even the other side, if you don't understand the material, because that's the most important component of your process, the material. So when the materials come, as you see them here, this morning we are here trying to, we have equipment to tell us this is the right material to order. If I said I want aluminum of this grade, I can tell and I show you, okay, this is the aluminum that I ordered before. No, this is an XRF, X-ray refractometer. Refractometer. It gives me elemental composition. For any alloy, there are many elements composed.
For each of these things is a mixture of metals, and that mixture is not random. It has been mixed to meet a particular standard. But sometimes you order and they give you something else. And now when, for example, the bolt she's making, the specifications will tell you the type of metal you need. Otherwise, it will break very fast. So we have to test.
As long as I'm not pressing here, you're safe. Maybe if when I press it, then you're not safe. So,
but the question I had,
Honorable Minister, you are emphasizing the focus on import substitution.
Yes.
And this is good to start with. Why wouldn't you commence with the building capacity of our manufacturing industries to manufacture the quality which this one is actually
exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
Before
the challenge.
Launch into the deep.
Yes, exactly. And that is why this center is here. Because why do they make what they make? First of all, because we are not a very big manufacturing and the center, we don't really know what we are supposed to do. So here, we will be setting standards. We'll be setting the quality standards. So all of them are going to come here, they learn, to upgrade, to buy, so that we set a good standard for the country. So, yeah. From this center, because now if you didn't have this machine, we can test you have imported these bars to manufacture something. Are they the right ones? You've seen people with the construction iron bars, which are of poor quality, and the building collapses. So we want now, because this center is about building the national engineering capacity. And as you see, we want to make Uganda the best in the region.
Wow. So the engineering capacity is different from producing.
Yes, yes. And we really want to support the private sector. Honorable, the private sector right now, if I want to manufacture something, my engineers inside could have capacity to design it, but there is nowhere you make a mold to produce that thing. So you'll have to send your design to China. That's where they have these materials. They'll make for you the mold, they'll send it back. Sometimes it reaches and is faulty. Then you have to send it back. And that is why import substitution of engineered products has been very, very low. So this is the center to build the national capacity. And yeah, because those factories you're saying, they use a lot of molds. They use a lot of molds, and making molds, the expense is transport, ordering, and then when you order, you've sent your intellectual capacity. Whoever makes it for you can make 5 more. So that is what we are trying to do here.
Do you have the capacity to come up with small things like bearings, shock absorbers?
Exactly.
Because this day to day.
Exactly.
So you already even but day to day vehicle mechanical problems. So you're going to start with those usual parts.
Yes, actually, when you go up there, I don't know if you have a chance to go up there, you'll see the different parts. Somebody was talking about reverse engineering, you see it up there.
People usually getting our engineers countrywide. That they cannot make a safety pin, if we have bigger.
They will now be able to make.
Okay? So you can't design if you don't know material. Then you're not a designer. Because we do design for manufacturing and assembly. So it means anyone who's to design for us, they have to know, why am I designing this? What is this for? Who is the customer for this? So it starts here from computer-aided design of the part. Machine, for example. Then we do computer-aided manufacturing. So here we have so, my apologies. So, because I'm trying to mention the word process, we have the right processes as a country, not even as this center. Everything will go well for us. So, material understanding, that's how we get there. Now, design of the parts that we want to use. Design for manufacturing, you design with manufacturing in your mind, with the customer's interest in mind, not your interest. So if you say you're going to make an impeller, for example, there, you have to know what. Okay, it is pumping water. They're used in pumps, with oil, water, whatever it is, to pump water. So there are many people who need such in industry to pump their fluids. So you have to know the material, what material are you looking at, what dimensions and so on, what sizes are you looking at. So the designer has to know all of that kind of information to be able to produce for you designs here. Okay. So that's why
this requires architects?
No. Mechanical engineer, because this is a mechanical engineer. Yeah, this is mechanical design, not architectural design.
Okay.
Because that's a mechanical element.
May I know what software this is? The name of the software, like we have ArchiCAD, AutoCAD,
Yes.
phone, what?
Yeah, this one is called SwanSoft. SwanSoft, and the beauty with it is you can choose the specific machine that you're going to be working with. So here we normally work as teams. So we have design engineers, we have CAM, so we are the people who do the CAM. So if I receive a CAD drawing, I need to simulate after I've decided on which machine it's going to work. So if I do that, I decide the tools which we're going to use, but I need to first simulate that before I take the part on the machine, so that I'm sure that the tool path I'm going to use is actually right. So what you see here is, what I was playing here is I can be able to see.
You simulate that?
Okay, just
Should even define simulation.
Okay.
Simulate. You can use it, simulate.
Because it's a heavy file, it's a bit, okay. I think you can see, this is the tool. So I'll be able to see the tool path. So you can see how the tool is going to be moving. So in case it's going to, yeah, the tool is in the machine. So this is how it's going to be actually when we put it in the machine. So after I've analyzed the CAM and I say it is okay, then I generate a code which the machine understands. Because the machine doesn't understand this as an impeller. The way your phone understands *131 to get your balance. So here we generate the code. So if I get the code, I'm able to put it on a flash and I take it to the machine. When I reach the machine, still I simulate to be sure that the process is right.
So it's about the process. So when he has done his simulation and he's sure, he goes to the machine. In fact, one of this simulation is already running. There's no.
I can show them here.
Okay. Okay.
There.
Yeah. Here
That's what is inside the machine.
So
The machine is cutting.
Yeah, it's cutting.
The cutting is this here.
Machine making machine.
The other, in a simple way. Okay. So that's when we see the impeller just starting. We can't see at the end just to show you what is happening. When we enter the military, what this workshop is computer numeric control machine workshop. Meaning the machining is not by people using their skill in how to deal with that, but how to deal with the computer and make the computer give you what you want. So the impeller, we have already put our material, so that is the starting. It begins in simple motion, and then because this is a very complex machine, as you can see, it can do any complex work that you can think of. Because it has 5 axes which can move in whichever direction, in whichever angle to give you what you want. So it's complex and can handle capacity, can handle precision, can handle accuracy, pretty much whatever you want, be it a mold for whatever product, whichever size, as you can see how big the table is. You can load something that weighs 4 tons or 4,000 kilograms. That is as long as 2.14 meters by 1.5 meters. That's how big this equipment is.
So how much power does it consume?
The machine does not consume, because the entire machine consumes around 60.5 kilowatts. Kilowatts. No, that is if you confirm in 2 kilowatt hours. That means in 1 hour it will consume 64.5 kilowatt hours then.
This is water.
Okay, that is a coolant, it's not water. It's a coolant because it is made of metal, they're supposed to keep the surface cool. Otherwise there will be heat and sparks therefore. So that's a coolant. Okay, now already simulation tells us, if I ask him, you can even read here and check how much time it can be. This one can take you, the impeller, because what we saw around the 2 hours. Because we are testing, we cannot got the full capacity of the machine. We're just trying to, I think it is high production, we increase the speed of the machine. And we can produce it in less than 1 hour then. And so it depends on the urgency. For any machine, the urgency determines the speed you run the machine. It's like if I'm going to Mbarara and I'm going just here, I don't have to go high speed when I'm just going here. The same thing. Yeah. Capacity utilization of your machine depends on your need.
Tell us about how many of these machines are in Uganda.
In Uganda and Eastern Central Africa, none. This is the only one. In Eastern Central Africa, this kind of size, precision, accuracy. In Eastern Central Africa, this is the only one. However, the technology, the others which can do the same but in smaller sizes. We have another one in Rwebitete. It is also 5-axis simultaneous, but it is small, half a meter of a product, half a meter. This is 2 meters long, 2.14 meters long, meaning capacity in terms of size, accuracy, precision, all addressed by this machine.
So you assembled it here. It came in.
It came.
No, I'm saying that you're bringing it as cargo. You in the parts.
No, they actually brought it pretty much with assembled just a few things. A few things. Yeah, but yes.
I am already worried that you take a twist and break from that high speed moving and it's one of our eyes.
Now, this one is supposed to be closed. We are showing you, that's why we have opened this.
Don't put that on this.
When we have to use heavy strength, then we have to load heavy pieces of metal.
So we are trying to see, can we have all those value chains and produce such parts? Up when we even go to produce the entire injection molding machine. That is the kind of trajectory we are looking at. So this is CNC milling, turning machine, or CNC lathe. And it can make for you a soft as big as around 1 meter, half a meter rather, the same as one which can give you 1 meter long of a shaft or anything that is cylindrical. Something like this. Something like that.
Tumwesije Josephat, member wa Parliament wa Bugangezi South, Kakumiro District, Bugangezi South, the chairperson, National Resistance Movement, Kakumiro District. I am with members of Parliament on the Committee of Budget. We are here in Sanga, Kiruhura District. We are on an oversight visit, and particularly we have come to see the operations of the National Science, Engineering and Technology. It's an arm under the President's Office that looks into innovations. Particularly here at Sanga, the Innovation Center, we have been really impressed by the quality of work, starting from the buildings, the pavements, and even the work done inside in the workshops. It is a clear indication that we are moving on a steady path of progress. We have been informed by the handlers here that this equipment that is stored here is the only in this region of East and Central Africa, meaning Uganda is taking the lead in innovation. We have also been informed that the center will be producing parts that are required in our industries, in our factories. Therefore, with time, we shall be saving on the hard foreign currency that we will be using to acquire these parts from the outside market. In fact, I have always wondered why we produce on an annual basis so many engineers from several universities, both private and public, yet these engineers cannot come up with solutions to our developmental problems. Today, my question has been answered that because this is going to be a center of retooling our engineers, they will be coming here to do innovation and research and come up with solutions. I am now at home that things are moving on well, and our sure path of development is already starting from this point. I should also say that something that needs to be ironed out is the equipment that is kept at the other center, at the other yard, near the Antonde town. We have got so many pieces of equipment, graders, excavators, rollers, you know, name it. Anything that can do with the heavy machinery to do with the roads and all that. These machines have been lying there for a long time. I wonder why they are there and they cannot be used. We have been told that they are used by hiring out to individual entrepreneurs, but that one is not really very good for us as a country, because districts, not only in this region but all over the country, are finding it difficult to work on their roads. You find a district having only one piece of equipment
Most of these districts do not utilize all the money that is sent from the center. At the end of the financial year, some of the money goes back to the center because they cannot utilize the funds. The reason they don't have enough equipment. I would possibly like to have already whispered to each other. We shall advise the minister that this equipment should be given out to districts. For example, we can like Uganda can be zoned in about 8 regions. Instead of keeping this equipment for a long time just lying idle, we could zone these districts and move this equipment to those zones to help beef up the literal resources that they have in terms of equipment and machinery in the districts. To work on the roads. Roads are a menace in this country, especially the rural roads. The access and rural roads and the feeder roads. They're just a menace. We shall discuss with the minister to see how to go about that.
Good. Okay, good. Thank you. My name is Semwanga Javira. I represent Buyamba constituency in Rakai district. It's very important for a country to take another step in science and technology, such that when we really put emphasis on import substitution, for us to manufacture what we would have imported, it is important and it has a high value on the economy. And I believe if we continue like this, it will be a great importance to this country. We have come here not to know how to use the machines, how they are operated. Our role as the budget committee is to really see how much we give them and how much have they been able to use. We want to see value for money. That's the main reason as to why we are here. And I have no doubt that by the time we leave, we shall have known how much has been used and how are we going to benefit in the medium term and long term. Thank you. I don't see any problem with the renting out tractors so long as they bring money to the consolidated fund as national non-tax revenue. It has no harm on the economy. It's part of getting more money to finance projects, government projects.
First of all, I think the government has invested a lot in this facility, and it should be able to transform our technology enhancement. The challenge I have seen is that we need to have a timeline when it can be operational. Because we have seen machines, there is a lot of money which has been put here. So the next step should be, how do we move to the next step? To have our people trained, and then we start producing the machines that we need to use in our manufacturing. For the trucks which have been parked there, it is very unfortunate that over 2 years, you have trucks which are parked and not utilized. And yet we have so many districts that don't have road equipment, and yet we have money stuck there. So I think government needs to quickly take the necessary actions to make sure that those equipments are put to use. Because it's like buying a car, you park it for 2 years. Yet we are paying interest on the loan, and the Ugandans are not benefiting. So this is not the way we should be handling things, especially once we have acquired loans and bought whatever we have bought, it should be used for the benefit of the people of Uganda.
Anyachongo Rosemary, Shema District. I want to appreciate the Minister of Science and Innovation, particularly for the work that is being done at this Rwebitete Skilling Center. This is going to help our students, our children, particularly who do science. Because, you know, when you do theory and you are not practical, you are like wasteful. So for me, I think this is going to translate into import substitution rather than importing everything from outside. So when they make these spare parts from here, they will help the country to grow scientifically. But this still, that the ministry has a challenge. They are packed so many, equipment at Gantuonde. They are in the parking yard. We don't know what they are doing. They are saying that they are renting them out, that they are training people who really to drive them, but we have not seen anyone. They are no students. Whom are they training? We want that accountability. How many people have they trained? How many people have they rented these out? And what is the revenue collected from renting them out? Such that we know that when government spent money on that, by the way, this is a loan. how much have they generated in the last 2 years that they've been parked there? So as Parliament, this is something that we need to look into and find out how this money was spent, especially in procuring all that equipment that is wasteful, just stranded at the park. All that equipment that is laid at the Antonde in the park, they pay rent every day. That means that it is a cost. You can imagine parking those equipment, road equipment for all those years. How much money have they been paying? Much as they are saying that they are generating revenue, we want to know how much money they pay for rent. All this is wasteful.
Yeah, today as the budget committee, we're privileged to move around the innovations and technology projects, and we are grateful that at least there is value for money. We started with the vehicles or those big machines and tractors that are being hired out, as we are told. They are really doing a good job. We're told that they are being hired to even Total Energies. They work in oil companies and other places. With this innovation here at Rwebitete, it's a very good work. And we have moved around, we've seen the machines, we have seen the work that is being done. There is really good job done here. We believe as a government, we are doing something good that will help even our young people, the youth, to get jobs. Already some youth are being employed here. We are seeing the engineers, the science people to get many trainings here. And what I have liked as a person is the quality of work that is done here. Sometimes we give government money and contractors make work that is very shoddy. But here everything is done in good quality, and we believe that in many years, in few years to come, we shall be benefiting much from this project. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is the first time we are reaching here, and we had not known that Uganda has invested heavily in an institute like this, which is going to incubate scientists, especially engineers, to undertake courses and mentorship and training in ensuring that they put in action what they learned using making machine. Many times we have been importing spare parts. Many countries can make spare parts for themselves. You may not go into engineering or even manufacturing new spare parts, but why should a country invest in importation of spare parts? You can do them here, and that is why we have these installations which are going to help us to improve our technology and the practice of technology. I think this is an investment in science. It is an investment in the future. This is where money can be invested, and you can think that you will be in position to recoup it. We are running away from training scientists, training engineers who cannot even make a bolt. Ugandans have always been a laughing stock. You cannot even make a safety pin. You cannot make a razor blade. You cannot make a panga. You cannot make a slasher. You cannot make a hoe. You are always importing everything, yet we have got everything here. For me, the most important thing now we need to do is to look at how we can smelt our iron ore, which we have in plenty in Uganda. We have a lot of iron ore from which we can make steel. Then such industries, such factories, will make more meaning if at all we have got our own raw materials. It is one thing to have machine-making machines, but it's another thing to have raw materials to make those parts that you want to substitute for those ones which are imported.
This project is a government project. It's co-funded by the government of Uganda and a loan from the Chinese government, Xinjiang. The project is about 96% complete. We have all the infrastructure done, just a little finishing up of things. We have all the machinery installed. They are now testing out each and every piece. And then we are left with just equipping the dormitories and hostels where the staff will stay and where the people who have come here to work or to learn or whatever they will stay. That's the only part which is left. Once we have a proficient team of engineers who can now take the processes from idea, the innovation, and design the pieces, machines, and demonstrate they can produce machines, then we will have the official opening, the official launch, because that will be able to show the world that we can actually manufacture things. And then we will bring in, start to expand the team of engineers, because as a country, on most of these systems, we have some people may have some idea, maybe working with some industries, but we are very, very low on that type of people. So the first stage is going to build the engineers with that capacity. And then after we have built the staffing, the people who have that capacity, who can mentor others, we will open it up. And our proposal, it's not yet been approved, but our proposal is we are going to start with trainers who train technical people in the country, the people who train engineers in university, because when you train somebody in something that you have ever done, you train very differently. I train people, I used to, if I became minister, in fighting epidemics. Now, my training is very different from those who have never fought an epidemic, because for me, I have that experience. So we believe that when our trainers have an experience of what they are training, the training in our institutions is going to change. So we want to have trainers from universities, trainers from the TVETs, because with a good understanding from here, most of those TVETs can turn the equipment they have into manufacturing of something, because the TVETs have some equipment. So then after that, we will have innovators, people who are interested. They have their innovations, but at the same time, we are a manufacturing facility. So our engineers and the staff who are going to be here, they will do contract manufacturing. We can get orders from people who want, for example, if Chira Motors wants certain pieces made, we can get those contracts and we are able to deliver. And that will help with what we call localization. That means locally manufacturing what we have been previously importing. Here, the government borrowed $84 million, but it was not just for this facility. This facility is on over 40 acres of land, but we also have a facility at Namamve, and then we have industrial equipment, construction equipment, civil works equipment. So that money, and then there was co-funding, there's co-funding from government. So the whole project is about $104 million. Science in general in the country has been designed to address three things. The first thing is unemployment, to create jobs for the unemployed. Secondly is to increase the income of the country, but also to reduce dependence externally on value-added products. So this facility, when you see it here, is an engineering development center. Why did we prioritize having this center, and why have we structured it that way? Because engineering is core in industrialization, and industrialization is the major way known to address unemployment. So, because when you come here and you start manufacturing something, that person will employ 100 people, another one will employ 10, another one will. So we are quickly going to deal with the challenge of unemployment. And if we support science, in about 3 to 5 years, we should see a big reduction in unemployment.
Today, a committee of parliament, a committee of budget, led by Honorable Ishiaji Opolot, together with the Minister for Science and Technology, visited Rwebitete, which is found in Nyakashashara sub-county in Kiruhura district, to check on the progress of the National Institute for Science and Technology, how far it has gone. We were impressed. We have looked at machines, we have looked at machining, we have looked at the processes, we have looked at the engineers that have been trained and retrained in China, and they have been brought back to train other engineers. What this institute is to the engineering profession is what the Law Development Center is to the legal profession. So we thank God that it is found in Kiruhura district and Nyabushozi, and we hope to benefit from it immensely by inspiring our own children right from senior 1, 2, 3 up to the HSC by having them tour and learn and get inspired at the machinery and the machining, by organizing Nyabushozi Science Education and Innovation Fairs. And the next, we look forward to hosting it at the Rwebitete Center.
My name is Antonio Kimato Polot. I'm the project coordinator for the National Science, Technology and Innovation and Engineering Skills Enhancement Project. It's a project intended to ensure that Ugandans participate in infrastructure development projects and manufacturing industries. And this project has established 2 centers, the Engineering Development and Innovation Center located in Kiruhura, in Rwebitete in Kiruhura district, and then the Technology Innovation and Business Incubation Center, which is in Namangwe. The focus of this of the Engineering Development and Innovation Center in Rwebitete in Kiruhura district is intended to spur manufacturing in Uganda. Manufacturing, for any country to develop, we must focus on engineering. Everything about our life apart from our bodies is a product of engineering. So for us as a country to enter into that space of manufacturing, we need to ensure that we develop our engineering sector. So the center that we have established in Rwebitete is geared towards beginning our journey as a country to spur manufacturing by focusing on providing the requisite environment for engineering. The project we started this project in 2019, and specifically construction of this phase started in May 2021. But we are glad to report that we are at 96% completion, and we expect to start operationalization come July 2024.
First and foremost, I want to thank our government, but in particular His Excellency, because of the knowledge and even that spirit of him thinking that much as we have a number of people who have qualified to be scientists in so many ways, but this is the time for us to walk a practical walk. This is the time when we feel that when you think that you have something within your head, please put it on paper, mold it, manufacture, come up with a product. That's why we have managed to come up with that facility you saw. That plant is going to help our youth It's going to help our, the people who feel that they can do something. Good enough, we have put each and every machine that we feel that can help our learners. Fully installed, well positioned, well pressed, with real people who are going to train our learners. We think that this time, at least we are going to walk a real talk of scientists. We need products. We need to be some people. At least we must move and reach at a certain stage. Together with our His Excellency and the government, as Parliament, the Committee of Parliament of Budget, our duty is to come, supervise, see whether what we agreed on is on ground. Then later, when they feel that we need to give a real support, it is our duty to say, yes, money should be here. For the good of today and tomorrow, our learners should be really different from the ones we have today. Thank you so much.